Did you know what the most successful gaming console of 2020 and 2021 are in a matter of profits and sales? I'll give you a hint. It's not the Xbox, and it's not the PlayStation. Surprisingly, it's the Nintendo Switch. And during my presentation today, I will cover the pricing, the promotion, the placement, and the product itself. And I'll go over some of the highlights and lower parts of the success since the launch in 2017. Now I will share my screen with you. Please bear with me. This is only my second time using Zoom, hosting a meeting myself. I've used it quite a bit. Here we go. The Nintendo Switch. Let's talk about the product. This is a gaming console that has the feature of mobility. There's no other gaming console out there on the market right now that has this. So it comes with a docking system, two controllers, the USBs and the plug-ins, so you can plug it into the TV and the wall. But the unique thing is the docking system and the console. You plug the console into the docking system, and then you can play it on the TV. But when you have to go somewhere, you can unplug it from the docking system, connect the controllers on the end, and play it handheld. And just for a size comparison, so you can tell, it's a little bit smaller than an iPad, but it's plenty big to see the screen, and not too small. This is a very, very, very sought after feature. I'm the youngest of four, and I can tell you, when I was a kid, we played sports all the time, but I was a little too young when my brothers and sisters first got into it. So I would play video games a lot. And I remember the times where I'm doing so great on a mission. Let's say I'm playing like a SpongeBob or something. I'm doing great and I don't want to leave, but my mom's yelling, Adam, we need to go watch your brother play. He's in a football game. And, it just kills you to leave the game, but you have to. But now you don't, being that there's a mobility with this gaming console, which is very, very sought after. Some other features include that you do not need Wi-Fi after the initial setup. After you log into the eShop, which is Nintendo's app store, and set up an account and download the games you want, you don't need Wi-Fi, which is very nice. Some continue to use Wi-Fi because they believe it could lead to a better gaming experience, but you don't need to. And after you unplug it from the docking system, you get, 5 to 9 hours of battery life, which is pretty good. And another feature is the local gameplay. Eight devices can log in to one console. So you can, if your friends come over and they bring theirs, you can have eight people bring their Switch, and then you can play with up to 16 people, which is just a crazy amount compared to its competitors like Xbox and PlayStation, where the most you can have is four. So there's different storages as well. The lowest is 16 and the highest you can get is 48, but the average is 32. That's what most people end up buying. And you can always add to your storage after you buy it. There's these little discs that they sell that you can plug in and you get more storage. And it comes in different colors as well. I'd say red and black are the higher ones, and blue and pink are on the lower end of the spectrum. But the different colors are nice, giving you options. And there's several games that are unique to the Nintendo Switch. The Legends of Zelda, Mario, and there's a whole bunch of different variations of Mario. There's Mario Kart. I was in my research, I saw there's a new one, Mario Golf, and Pokemon, and there's more games that are unique to the system. So let's talk about the price a little bit. The average price for a Nintendo Switch is $299, and that's for the 32 gigabyte hard drive. That's not breaking the bank per se, but it's more towards the lower end of a gaming console on the Spectrum side. The prices can vary, of course, due to the hard drives. The higher amount of storage you get, the more you're going to pay, and the lower amount of storage you get, the lower you will pay. You'll pay more for more storage. And the compared to its competitors, the Xbox One runs you about $500, and then they have another version, the Xbox One X, which will run you about $900. And the PlayStation, it's about $500. So it's lower than their competitors, and the cost per game is lower as well. A Nintendo game is around $30 to $40. Some of their newer and more recent games can run up to $60, but it's more often the 30 to 40 range, while the Xbox and the PlayStation games have very similar pricing patterns. The standard edition is generally $60, and then the more deluxe editions you can run up to $100. So if you really crunch the numbers and find all the features you like, you're getting a good bang for your buck with the Nintendo Switch. That's for sure. Let's talk about the placement a little bit. The placement is very robust. You can buy these either online or in brick and mortar stores. There's plenty of stores to buy them at. And I'll go over a couple. It's Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart, Target, Costco. There's even more, and there's an ample amount of stores out there you can buy them from. You can find them in a lot of different places. Amazon also sells them online, and a couple other well-known gaming companies. So they're all out there. It's not hard to find them, and they're sold in many countries. Some of the more prominent: United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, Colombia, and Peru. But the only problem with all these different countries is that the eShop currently is only available in United States, Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. They're working on this though. Nintendo is working on expanding their eShop so all the countries where they sell these devices can get it. It's not the end of the world if you do not have the eShop. The eShop is just for ease of play, where you can log in. It's essentially Nintendo's app store. You can log in and buy games through the store and download them virtually, and instead of having to go to a store and buy the actual hard discs and copies of the games. And another feature of the eShop, which is nice, is it has apps, and one of the apps is Hulu, so you can stream movies and TV shows through the Nintendo Switch. But they're also working with more streaming services, trying to get them to sign on. But for now, Nintendo Switch is primarily known as a gaming device, with which they want that to be known. The promotion was very, very good. The initial series of ads drew the attention of many. The YouTube original ad that was released has over 50 million views. The series of ads were memorable too. The one that I enjoyed the most was a guy on his couch playing a video game, and he was so locked in that his dog started barking as if the dog needed to go outside and use the bathroom. And he didn't want to get up and leave his video game, so he walked up to the docking device in the console and unplugged it, and then he grabbed the controllers and plugged them in, and he hooked the dog up with the leash and was walking the dog outside while continuing to play the game. And there were many other ads in the initial release. The airport, which most people hate to go to the airport because you have long layovers or you're there for a long time. You got there early with boarding, but being able to play the game makes it easier. And there's other ads when they're at practice in the gym, people playing basketball, they get done and they play on the Nintendo Switch together. Social gatherings and more, and they were just very memorable and drew the attention of many. The interesting thing is they did not announce the Nintendo Switch at the E3 gaming trade event, where they had previously struggled. Nintendo had a device known as the 3DS, and they announced it at the E3 gaming event, and they got bogged down with questions about the processors and more, and they didn't really get to talk about the features and how great the product can be. So when they initially launched it, they didn't sell many, and they weren't selling, so then they cut the price in half, and they still weren't selling. So it was really a failed launch, and you can tell that they had learned their lesson from the previous E3 event, being that they did not go back and they did not announce their Switch there. And many of the ads after the initial were on Nickelodeon Disney Channel targeting children. And I can tell you, I forgot to mention in the features in the product at the beginning, there are parental controls for the Switch. You can monitor the gaming time, and it can actually shut itself off after a while if you're worried about the children playing too much. And these pictures I included in the top right, I don't know if my picture is blocking it, I'll try to move it. But you can buy a bundle with the console initially. The one on the left here is the Mario bundle, where you get the device, red and black, and you can play. Well, you get the device, and then you get all these different Mario editions of the games. And then the one on the right is the Fortnite. You get the console itself and the docking and the controllers, yellow and blue, and then you get the Fortnite game included in the console, which is nice for many people who love to play Fortnite. And they just did a great job promoting. It was well done. So the success since the launch of the Nintendo Switch, there's been much success. In 2019, they tweaked the battery life a little bit, revised the hardware, and they brought in a more efficient processor. But since then, it has been you can tell that the customers really enjoyed the changes that they have made, because since 2019, in 2020 and 2021, Nintendo Switch has been the best-selling console in the United States, which is very impressive. And just to recap a little bit, the Nintendo Switch is a gaming console that is mobile. It's sold in many states and many different countries. The promotion of it was great. It was very memorable, and they have been very successful since the launch. I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation today, and I would hope you have a good day. Thank you.